Hey, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fan Shield 500 more NASCAR Heat 5 action. I was supposed to have the Truck Series race a couple nights ago. So we tried streaming it Wednesday before the Bristol All-Star race. For whatever reason, the hotel was booting me off of the PlayStation servers, the PlayStation Network. I just didn't get enough connection there. And then obviously the same thing happened again yesterday, but we are here tonight. I'm back at my house, so we should be uninterrupted. So this is going to be a full race live stream here, but this race will fly by at Phoenix, only 312 miles for this Cup Series race, but it is a full race nevertheless, as I see you guys joining in the chat. So sorry for the late race, but again, just got back about an hour ago. Got done unpacking my stuff, and we are ready to go. Angel, Braden Thompson, A-Stark Light, Jacob Comstock, welcome to the stream. Yep, hopefully all goes well, and it should, because again, I'm back at home, so that's nice. Everything's back to normal. The All-Star race was awesome. Vlog will be out tomorrow. So it was supposed to be up today, and then I was losing connection in and out of the mountains there in the Bristol area, so I couldn't, on my way home, I couldn't get uploaded. I was thinking it could have, but yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, that'll be up tomorrow. And my predictions and post-race analysis video, so that will be in the vlog, but I'll also make those separate videos. I know it's later and it's after the race, a couple days after the race, so sorry for that, but at least it's not a race in which there was fantasy involved with it, so it's not like it had to necessarily be up. I can tell you my predictions were way off, at least for the Open, but without further ado, we're going to hop right on into this, and we are going to have a lot of fun here today. So hopefully we have the right setup, no practice, no qualifying, and it looks like Jimmy Johnson will be starting 38th. Kevin Harvick on the pole. This is arguably his best racetrack on the circuit. Tyler Reddick and Ryan Preece starting at the rear of the field, and Harvick might be one of the guys to beat here in this one. Yeah, All-Star race was awesome to be there in person. First time at Bristol Motor Speedway, it was great, but we'll get into that more throughout the course of this race, because the green flag is in the air and we are underway at Phoenix, race number 6 of the season. Kevin Harvick leads the field to the green flag. This track is known for crazy restarts. The new configuration, the large tri-oval, or front stretch anyway, with the dog leg being involved on the outside. Turn 1, lap 1, now up the middle, 3 wide into turn 3. Johnson gets a little loose, contact with the 77 of Ross Chastain, as well as the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. Gaughan spins his tires off at turn 4, lap 1 in the books as Harvick leads it. Finally going to get down to the bottom after starting on the top at the back. It definitely took us a little over a lap to get there, but we finally got there nonetheless. William Nix, Ravish Desires, welcome to the stream. I did not come back with COVID, at least that I know of. No, I feel all healthy. Everything's good to go. I made sure when I was there I touched absolutely 0 handrails, even when I was walking up the steps. So, yeah, outside of our seats, I didn't touch anything. Seats and cup holders, that was about it. But we were the only ones in our seats, obviously. I think there was only like maybe 2 other people in our entire row in that section, too. So we were pretty well spaced out. I sat in turn 1, about 54 rows up. So that was really good seats. It doesn't look like there's any bad seats at Bristol, though, either. So, yeah, it was pretty good. But, yeah, All-Star version, I can see why fans were a little or they could say why it was a little overhyped. Being there in person, it was awesome. Probably on TV, it wasn't quite the same Bristol. And I kind of figured that with it being a shortened race, lap traffic wasn't going to play as much of a factor, especially with half the cars in the field as well. So without any lap traffic and without that many cars on the track, no Xfinity or truck races leading up to it, so there was absolutely no rubber on the track, green racetrack. I think that's why you saw the Open a lot better than or maybe not necessarily a lot better, but it was slightly better than what the All-Star race was racing-wise, because the cars were sliding around a lot more. There was a little bit of rubber laid down by the time the All-Star race started, but by that time, Again, there wasn't many laps on the track, and most of, if not all the laps, everybody was fighting for the bottom. So the only rubber was laid down on the bottom where the PJ1 was. So there wasn't really multiple grooves until the last 15 laps of the race, and you really only saw a couple guys using it by that point. So with it being too short of a race and half the cars, I think that's the only reason you didn't see a typical Bristol race on Saturday night, especially with it being for $1 million in the All-Star race. It was definitely aggressive on the restarts. You can definitely tell there's a sense of urgency there with a shortened race, but they just got too strung out. And usually you see those long green flag runs at Bristol, and they're entertaining because lap traffic is such a huge factor there of how the leaders get through it, and then you see other drivers coming through the lap cars to try to contend. So that definitely plays a huge factor there. We just didn't get to see that because there were not any long green flag runs and less cars. Yeah, well, I mean, the only difference is it does matter in the sense for the winner. If you're not going to be that competitive, yeah, it doesn't mean that much. But those 3 or 4 cars that looked like they could have won it throughout the course of the race, given the track position and yeah, I mean, within pit strategy and how fast of a car Chase Elliott had, he was going to be tough to beat. They are still racing for $1 million, and that's a lot for these teams, especially in the pandemic. I'm sure that was almost more fulfilling to win an all-star race to get that extra $1 million now versus before, for the teams at least. So I wouldn't say it necessarily doesn't matter, but it wasn't a points race. I will cross Bristol off the list, but I will definitely be back hopefully in the coming years for the night race, because with it not being a points race that I saw there, kind of like with the Charlotte Roval. Like, I saw the Charlotte Roval, so technically I can mark off 2 racetracks that I've actually seen a race at that track, but I have not seen the Coke 600 at the oval track yet, so I'll definitely have to make sure I do that. Supposed to do it this year, but it looks like it's going to be next year instead. So back to the race right now. Jimmy Johnson's worked his way up to 25th, using the dog leg there that last lap on the front stretch to make a pass on David Reagan. Going into turn 1, Joey Logano off to a rough start, back in 24th right now, about to lose another spot to Jimmy. And we're already about 10 to 10.5 seconds off the race lead. Joey about tried to block us. Big side draft there. Logano comes into this race 4th in the point standing, so him not having a great run, that could hurt. Johnson 5 for 5 to start the season. Can we stay undefeated in race number 6 on this custom schedule season here? Never cared. Yeah, as far as watching as a fan, I enjoy NASCAR, so I will say I enjoy the All-Star race, but I had no intentions of ever really going to the All-Star race, with it being a much shorter race, and that's the main reason for it. And with it always being in Charlotte every year, I knew it was going to be like a 9-hour drive for me, so I'm like, I don't think it's worth, a 9-hour drive to go that far. And much like Bristol is only an hour shorter drive. The difference and the reason why I went to Bristol is because I hadn't been to a race all year because of the pandemic. Because the first 4 races they had with fans, 3 of them were out coast, and I couldn't make the Daytona 500 this year because I had plans of going to other racetracks. And I was budgeting around and had vacation time and time off for those tracks, so I couldn't get off for Daytona. So that's why I hadn't been to a race yet this year, and all these other racetracks I was supposed to go to, I've been racing without fans. So as soon as I saw that they were going to have fans at Bristol, I took the opportunity and I got the tickets for that reason. And it was a great experience to be there in person. I mean, it didn't feel real stepping in to that racetrack, just the facility in general. It was a really cool vibe, knowing the history there and not being there before. I couldn't imagine, being there for the night race with over 100,000 fans. That'd be so cool. I can't wait for everything to go back to normal so I can do that. Because I would definitely probably go back one of these, if not this year, next year for sure. Probably going to Bristol for the night race. Up to 16th. Yeah, I know. I was like almost shell-shocked for, the All-Star race at Bristol, just walking in. I can't imagine how I might faint if I walk. Like, I might actually, my legs might actually give out just looking at the spectacle It was kind of a similar feeling to when I walked into Indianapolis and Charlotte in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, just kind of like in awe of everything around me. So that was pretty cool. As far as like the fan access and stuff, it was weird because it almost felt like a Monday race, because I'd actually seen a couple races ran on a Monday. Unfortunately, I've had to stick out rain delays both at the 2018 Brickyard 400. They ended up racing on a Monday, and then last year in the June Michigan race, they raced on a Monday. And that's exactly what it felt like. Limited capacity, not that many people showing up on a Monday. The only difference was we had to wear masks, because if you've ever been to a Monday Cup race, not all the concessions are open and the souvenirs stands are open. If not even most of the souvenir stands for like t-shirts and stuff for the driver haulers they're gone. So that's kind of what it felt like to me. It almost felt like a Monday race. You know, feel like how it was, but that's not why. Obviously, there wasn't any extra souvenir places. So unfortunately, I didn't get any souvenirs. But again, I'll be back to Bristol someday, so I wasn't too stressed about it. Am I gonna upload the vlog for the race? Yeah, welcome, by the way, Jacob Westbrook. To the stream. Yeah, it was supposed to upload today. Again, I was going through the mountains through Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, and I kept losing connection in and out outside of the GPS on, and then my phone died like a couple hours from my house, so I never got a chance to fully upload. Now I have to re-upload it and restart it, so it should be up tomorrow morning. I'll have a couple different videos on it. Oh yeah, NASCAR Hall of Fame is well worth the trip. So caution's out for the first time today. About 20 laps into this race, exactly on lap 20 was the time of the caution. Harvick's led every lap so far. He'll lead the field to the green this time. Everybody in the top half of the lead lap stayed out of the pits. Green flag back in the air here at Phoenix. Johnson with a great restart on the bottom. 3 wide, spins the tires. Great save, still 3 wide into turn 1. Just lost a little grip there going from 3rd to 4th. A little squirrely. Harvick still going to make the pass on Bubba Wallace and William Byron off of turn 2. Look at Chris Buescher taking it 3 wide. Johnson in the bottom. 4 wide pass through 3 and 4. What a move by Jimmy Johnson to get into the top 10. One heck of a restart by the 48 despite spinning tires on the restart. Drives it in deep into the back of Hamlin. Hamlin goes around. Hamlin into the outside wall. He might have saved it. Caution is out again. Holden Mason, welcome to the stream. Also, what a crazy restart that was. Early on, and still nobody will hit pit road. Very early into this run. Austin Dillon will actually hit pit road. Hamlin will after that accident. And Timmy Hill will get back on the lead lap with the free pass. So all 40 drivers will be back on the lead lap again. Hopefully Hamlin can get going. Make it back out of the pits. Yeah, there's still a long time before next February too for Daytona. I don't know if it's going to be the exact, full capacity, but I think they could have some sort of fans there. Second weekend of February. I mean, we still got, what, 6-7 months, so gives us a lot of time. Another great restart by Johnson as Harvick leads the field to the green after our second caution of the race. How about Matt DiBenedetto in 3rd place right now, but not for much longer. Johnson is coming. Not much damage to the front of the race car for the 48 despite getting into the back of Hamlin there that brought out the last caution. Hamlin went for a spin. And Johnson will clear DiBenedetto now for 3rd. And here comes Truex in behind to take the spot, followed by Matt Kenseth. Big run into turn 1 now. Johnson for 2nd place on Kurt Busch. And clear. Up the track, Kurt going to try the crossover. Johnson gets tight. Still holding clear. Off of turn 2 with the block down the back stretch and into 3. Driving it in deep now to stay in front of the 1 and carry that momentum to try and catch the 4 of Harvick. Just over 30 laps into the race. Those couple cautions definitely helped Johnson get through the field a little bit quicker. This 48 car looking strong in the early going of the season. Definitely the championship favorite in the chase for 8. His 8th title. Little side draft there down the back on Harvick, and for the lead through 3 and 4. Clear off of turn 4. Harvick might try the crossover. He will. Johnson leads the lap at the line for the first time today, lap 33, but Harvick is there. Johnson couldn't quite clear the 4 without the crossover. Harvick gets loose. Johnson gets out of the gas early. Gasses it back in late. Can't get back by. Great crossover move by Harvick to take the lead back. Johnson going to try to drive it in deep into 3 again. Clear off of 4. No crossover this time. Johnson will still lead back-to-back laps. A great battle for the lead here in the early going at Phoenix. Will Kyle Larson ever race again? I'm assuming you're stating for the Cup Series. I think he will. Honestly, it could happen as soon as next year by talks of everything going on. I'm not fully committed that Clint Bowyer is going to retire at the end of the year. It seems to be leading that way, but I wouldn't be surprised if he stuck around another year or two. Because although, yeah, he seems to be underperforming as far as not being able to win races, but he still looks like a round of 12 competitor the way he's running this year. And the way some of the guys are running that are in points currently, you know, as of the last couple weeks outside of him. Boyer's had a couple of good runs these last couple weekends too. And SHR as a team, you know, is getting better. Cole Custer just won at Kentucky. Harvick has obviously been the clear-cut, you know, favorite for the championship so far this year. And then, yeah, like I said, Boyer's running somewhat good here and there throughout the season, especially the last couple of weeks. And Eric Almirola had that top 5 streak going on for him too. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't retire, to be completely honest. I get that's the speculation of everything, but he enjoys racing. Like, he still enjoys going to the track every weekend and competing. Just by him talking about it on the booth, you know, he's like, oh, I can't wait for tomorrow, you know, get back in the car, get going again, you know, whether it's him just saying it for TV or not, you know, it seems to be how he really feels. Drove it in a little deep into 3 and 4, surprisingly got it to stick that time. This car's definitely loosening up as the run carries on. Had a nice balanced setup there. But not with a great team. So you think he's going to be out of the 14 ride, the 14 car, but you think he's still going to race next year? See, that's the thing, though. I think it's Stewart-Haas or bust, or at least competitive car or bust. If he can't get a competitive car, I don't see why he'd stick around. Yeah, I don't see why he would stick around. I mean, Kenseth, you know, maybe the 42 car if he doesn't stick around in the 14, but you would have to think they're leaning more towards Ross Chastain. Because I don't think Kenseth's coming back next year. So I don't really see that as an option. 2 car? Maybe, but Austin Cindric, I don't know. It's tough. It's a really tough decision going through there. And everybody, you know, is talking about even the 14 being taken over by Kyle Larson, and the ties, you know, dirt racing with him and Stewart and stuff, and Tony would like him as a driver. But Chase Briscoe is tearing it up in the Xfinity Series right now. He's got a chance to break the all-time single-season wins record in the Xfinity Series. I think Sam Ard has the record with 8 wins in one season. And he's got, what, 6 wins already this year? We're not even into the playoffs yet. I mean, he could break that record. He could easily get 3 more wins in the last, like, 15 or so races of the season. Especially the pace he's going at, he could probably get double digits. I mean, who's to say Briscoe won't have that car next year? if he does come in for Boyer. He's not taking over Custer's ride. Custer's already kind of proven himself with the win, whether you think it's a fluke or not. He won the race. He's in the playoffs, so he's guaranteed top 16. That's more than what Suarez did in that car in 2 years, or 1 year. So that's already a huge step up. So Tyler Reddick, the rookie, has gotten himself into the top 5 and in fact is in second place ahead of Kevin Harvick. What a run for Reddick. Remember, in real life this season we have seen him run well at Phoenix. He was up to second place before making contact on a restart and cutting a tire. So this could be one of his better tracks. Still a long ways to go in this one. The fact he is in second place, just 5 seconds off the lead. We do not have a good short run car. We've got lucky with these 2 cautions again to get to the lead a little quicker. So we are going to have 40 laps complete at the line this time. See if we get a longer green flag run. Maybe even to get to the pit stops. We do have some drivers that had pit under both of those cautions, so they can run a little bit further than, say, us right now also. But yeah, now that I'm back home, we are back at the daily streams. It looks like we're going to have another doubleheader coming up, and it's likely going to be tomorrow. Because I don't think, with the Texas race on Sunday, I'm not going to be able to do a doubleheader then. And then obviously working Monday through Wednesday. It looks like tomorrow's going to have to be the doubleheader. So to make up, that Truck Series race probably won't be till Monday night at Canadian Tire. Now we need to get the Cup Series rolling again. We were supposed to race Phoenix yesterday. So mainstay is to keep this Cup Series on track more than anything. So that's why we're racing Phoenix tonight instead of yesterday, and we'll end up making 2 races up. So at least the Cup Series will be back to schedule here after tomorrow. And that will lead us to, I believe, Talladega on Sunday. So that should be a good show. First time running Talladega on NASCAR Heat 5. You know, Daytona was crazy for all 3 races in Speed Weeks. How is that going to go? Starlin Dixon, welcome to the stream. The road to 1,000 subs, but we're getting close to 350 here, and I think we could easily get that by the end of Sunday. So stacked lineup on the channel tomorrow. We got a Cup Series doubleheader for NASCAR Heat 5, realistic broadcasts. The doubleheader races will be at Kentucky, or you know what? I think Kentucky and then Talladega. So I think both those races are tomorrow. I can't remember the schedule. I know Kentucky's next. It's been a while since I played the game, so I can't really remember my schedule. But I think it's Kentucky Talladega will likely be tomorrow. So that will be interesting. Big run. Getting a lot of guys a lap down right now early on. Chase Elliott and William Byron running very slow. Elliott has not had a strong start to this 2020 NASCAR Heat 5 custom scheduled campaign. But with Johnson leading and Alex Bowman running in the top 5 and 5th, Bowman, this is one of his better tracks as well. Seems to perform well quite a bit whenever the Cup Series runs here. And off to a strong start. About a 10.5 to an 11-second lead right now for Johnson. Really opening it up right now. We are using the controller here tonight. You plan on me using the steering wheel tomorrow for that Kentucky race, though. for the Cup Series. It'll be the first race I'll be using the steering wheel for NASCAR Heat 5, so stay tuned for that one. It should be a lot of fun. Yeah, I know Blaney had such a fast car. I was thinking that would be the day, but that's kind of the story with Blaney and Bristol. He always gets off to a strong start. It seems like as the track starts to get more rubber on the car, they just can't find a setup for late race. You know, whether it's day or nighttime there, for whatever reason. Or he gets caught up in an accident before they can get late in the race to figure out if they actually have the car to win or not. That pit strategy, I knew that was going to bite him. If they had more cars stay out of the pits, I think it would have worked, but he was the only car to stay out of the pits at the end of stage 2, and that really hurt him. I'm surprised he was able to hold on as long as he did, but yeah, once Chase Elliott got on by, he was able to hold on a little bit longer because with Keselowski taking 2 tires, that kind of held up Elliott and I believe it was Harvick at the time quite a bit. I'll tell you what, if they would have had a late race restart, I think Harvick would have won it. I mean, he came from mid-pack all the way up to 3rd in 15 laps at Bristol. That's what, like 4 minutes? That's insane. It's insane. Caution free too, that final stage. But yeah, Chase definitely had the fastest car, so he deserved the win. Kyle Busch had a fast car late. I think they got that thing tuned in, but I'm very surprised. He was making the top side work, and he was cutting into the lead. I'm surprised he didn't go to the top side sooner. He didn't really, like, he ran a couple laps in turns 3 and 4 on the outside, but every lap in 1 and 2, except for the last lap, he was running on the bottom. And I'm surprised he didn't run the top there, and I'm surprised he didn't start just as soon as he got the 2nd place. I'm surprised he didn't go top side. So he was closing in, but then once he moved back down to the bottom, Chase seemed to be pulling him away. I just don't understand why he didn't stay on the top. I think he could have given Chase more of a run for his money there. King, welcome to the stream. But yeah, Blaney probably had about the 3rd or 4th fastest car in the field. So maybe that's why they went with the pit strategy, knowing that they weren't going to be able to beat Chase Elliott on speed. So why not try something different? So I don't blame him for that. It wasn't a points race, so it didn't hurt him too much. He still finished 6th, so I mean, he was literally in the top 5 the whole race until the very end when he fell back to 6th. So he definitely had a good run. Definitely showing that Bristol's one of his better tracks. He just hasn't gotten a win there. So we still got quite a ways we can go here, but our tires are getting eaten alive on this racetrack. About 19% tire wear, now down to 18 on that right front. Here at Phoenix, very flat, 1 mile racetrack. Use a lot of brakes here, 750 horsepower racetrack for the Cup Series, and it's definitely showing that the tire wear is going to be a big factor just as much as the lap traffic and the restarts in this race today. We're passing cars pretty easily, or at least making it look easy. But knowing that we're going to have quite a few drivers be able to stay out a little bit longer, hopefully we don't get caught a lap down, knowing that we have to make our green flag stop a little sooner by about 20, maybe even 30 laps compared to some of these other guys. Maybe even more depending if they can run their entire run on fuel. Oh, Blaney pulls down right in front of us, trying to hold on to the lead lap. Not giving us a lot of room either. We're going to get on by him down to the inside of Custer to put another car lap down. Now only 10 drivers on the lead lap. Cole Custer had a great run at Bristol back on Tuesday night in our season. Ran in the top 5 all night long. Caution right before the pit window comes. Cole Custer will get the free pass at 11th. Denny Hamlin got up to 2nd right before the yellow. Reddick fell back a couple spots there. So caution's out for the 3rd time tonight. We were probably going to have to pit about 5 laps from now, so that played out perfectly for us. Yeah, last time NASCAR Heat 4, yeah, that was a crazy finish to this race. Hopefully we have a better result than what happened that day. So we're going to hit pit road for the first time, going to repair that 1 second of damage as well while we're at it. So we're going to lose 2 spots on pit road. Denny Hamlin wins the race off of pit road, and the top 11 are still on the lead lap here in this one. Green flag back in the air here at Phoenix. Great restart by Johnson on the bottom. Hamlin goes up the side draft. Tyler Reddick, what a restart for Johnson to the lead before we even get into turn 1. What a 3-wide move. Here comes Reddick on the top side again, as him and Hamlin side draft as they go 3 wide behind him for 4th place rather. Harvick all the way on the bottom, tucked in line behind Hamlin, who takes over 2nd. Johnson leads the opening lap of the restart. Harvick now looking for the lead. Harvick has probably the fastest car in the field on the short runs. He is there. Hamlin with a hard charge on the top side. Look at the run that 11 car got on the outside. And clear off of turn 2. Denny Hamlin to the lead at Phoenix. He won here in the playoffs last season. Johnson trying to go back at it strong. Now down to the apron. Trying to get back alongside that 11 car of Hamlin. Going into turn 1, driving it in deep. He's there. Can't hang on to it though. As now Kenseth and Harvick battle it out for 3rd place. Harvick clears Kenseth off of turn 2. Johnson trying to hang right in there with the 11. Able to drive it in deep into 3, but Harvick beats Johnson back to the gas, and here comes Harvick for the lead. A little contact as he tried to pull up and clear, and now here comes Kenseth. Crossover by the 48, couldn't get him, and here comes the 42 of Kenseth to the inside. Kenseth is there. He clears. Nope, not quite. A little side draft at the last second. Under the brakes a little early, gassing it up late. Johnson gets loose in the center of the corner. Johnson goes around, back into traffic. The 6 car is collected. Caution is out. I believe Reddick got a piece as well. And luckily only 1 second of damage. We drove it in way too deep. We can hold the apron in 3 and 4, but we were way too below that yellow line. And another caution just a couple laps after a restart. Ryan Blaney will get the free pass in 12th now, as Denny Hamlin will restart with the lead. It looks like everybody's going to stay out of the pits. Green flag back in the air. Hopefully this restart goes a little better for Jimmy. He had a great restart, I guess, but couldn't quite hold on to the car there. Was in 3rd or 4th place rather, just drove it in too deep. Trying to get down to the bottom as quickly as possible, right in front of Chris Buescher, back underneath of Cole Custer for 10th. And look at Christopher Bell, the other rookie. He's going for 7th place now on Kurt Busch. As Hamlin leads the opening lap of the restart, Martin Truex Jr. up to 2nd, and Harvick had a terrible restart on the top side. He has fallen back to 4th place, finally able to block Reddick off. We have 3 rookies in the top 10. With Bell up to 6th, Reddick in 5th, and Custer barely holding on to 10th place right now. And now he gets cleared. Johnson has moved up to 10th off of turn 4. So great run for the rookies early on here at Phoenix. Oh, Buescher is there. He moves us out of the way. And here comes Buescher. And 13th in that free pass position, trying to get away from Keselowski and Kyle Busch. And Keselowski sends it now. And makes a great save, but stacks up the field behind him. Keselowski sends it into turn 3. Contact with the 48. And then the 18 got right into the back of him. Custer slipped away from all that. He was on the outside of everything. As now Newman and Keselowski are side by side back there for 14th, allowing Chris Buescher in the 17 car to get away. in that free pass spot as he's trying to hustle around Alex Bowman now, who is just in front of him. Onboard cam now for Jimmy Johnson. Working on teammate Alex Bowman for the 9th position on the racetrack. Couldn't get him there. Tyler Reddick starting to slip back. He's back to 8th place. Oh, a little contact there with the 88. Never want to see teammates making contact with one another like he did there, but I don't know. Christopher Bell comes off like a nice guy. I don't know whether to believe that or not. Matt DiBenedetto's running into the top 5 once again, backing up turns 1 and 2, trying to get a big run on Bowman. We have been working on trying to pass him here for a few laps. Back to the inside into 3 and 4 again now for 9th. We are there. Bowman probably going to get a run off the top. Johnson with a little side draft, going up the hill a little bit to try and get there. Bowman couldn't quite clear us that time. Now into 1 and 2, still side by side. Bowman getting a big side draft though on the top. Look at the run. Johnson trying to get away from him, has to come up and arc the corner off, but Bowman is still there. Finally clear going into turn 3. Johnson is up to the 9th position. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream. And now Johnson trying to run down the race leaders here at Phoenix. In the first 100 laps of the race. Probably got out of the gas just a little too long in the center of the corner. Reddick is there. Big side draft. Oh, a little contact. Don't want to see that. And that sends Reddick wide into turn 3, allowing Johnson to clear. But Reddick with the crossover. Can he get to that left rear corner panel? He is there. Johnson gets loose, barely able to block him off into turn 1. Reddick down to the top side. What a power move from Tyler Reddick. Johnson beats it back to the gas. Big side draft though for Reddick off the right rear corner panel, still side by side for 8th. And now down into turn 3, Johnson clears again, and that time Reddick will not try a crossover move as he can't get it done. Robbie Dixon, welcome to the stream. Nice job, both of you guys there in your career mode achievements. I still have yet to start my career mode. Really trying to get in depth with these championship mode races. Problem is, with this custom scheduled championship season for all 3 series, I just keep falling behind, whether it's NASCAR Heat's error on those opening first couple days, or me going to Bristol and getting booted off the internet a couple times. Seems like right when I catch up, I keep falling behind again, so. Next race I'm supposed to go to isn't until Labor Day weekend for the Southern 500, so we'll see. hopefully we can get fans there, and hopefully I can get back to the track again in a little over a month. I think it's about 6 weeks away from this weekend. Johnson comes into the 6th race of the regular season with a 51-point lead on Ryan Newman. Newman's been running a lap down just outside the top 10 pretty much all race, so we should be able to expand the lead on him. Other drivers, though, in the top 5. Harvick comes into the race 5th in points. He is definitely one of the fastest cars, if not the fastest car in the field today. Ryan Blaney just got the free pass, so he restarted at the rear of the field in 12th. We pass Christopher Bell now for 8th place. 7th, rather. Dropping Bell to 8th. Logano not having a good day. Came into this race 3rd in points. So we're beating everybody in the top 5 in points outside of Harvick right now. And he's going to be probably the toughest guy to beat. One of his best racetracks. All 40 cars still on the track as you see Quinn Houff in 40th right there. Kurt Busch getting held up now by Ross Chastain for Spire Motorsports in the 77. Kurt did not want to take it 3 wide up the middle, played it safe, lets Johnson go, giving Jimmy the 6th spot. How about Matt Kenseth having a great run in the top 5? He had a great run at Bristol. Can't remember if he quite finished in the top 10 or not, but he definitely had a strong performance in our Cup Series race on Tuesday night for the Food City 500. Johnson shot to get back into the top 5 now on Hamlin, who had that incredible restart, but has fallen back to 6-6. Using Brendan Gaughan as the pick there to clear Hamlin easily off of 4. Still running about 3.5 seconds off the lead, but Johnson starting to mow through his competitors. Now closing in on Matt Kenseth, who has nowhere to go with the lap traffic ahead of him. Splitting John Hunter Nemechek 3 wide into turn 3. And now on Timmy Hill as well. DiBenedetto being held up in 3rd. Johnson up to 4th. And now a big run on Matt DiBenedetto to his outside. LaJoie's there. 3 wide. Johnson to the top. Barely clearing DiBenedetto with a slingshot move into turn 1. Now to the bottom of Joey Gase to get around him. Almirola with a poor performance once again here. We're going to get around him for the moment. Closing in on Harvick for 2nd place. Truex, though, gapping the leaders for now. Harvick looking to the inside of Fincham. Johnson all the way to the bottom, trying to clear the 4 of Harvick and use Fincham as a pick. Well done. Cleared off of turn 2. Jimmy up to 2nd, just 2.5 seconds off the race lead. And off of turn 4 here, just 1 lap car in between 1st and 2nd. Seems to be Eric Jones in the 20, if I'm not mistaken. Back into the gas just a little too soon. Eric Jones not having a great run in 30th right now either. There's a lot of strong cars outside of the top 25 already. Multiple laps down. Eric Jones, Eric Almirola. Remember Chase Elliott, William Byron were a lap down earlier. I think they ended up getting back on the lead lap though. Gano's been running around 25th. And I think that's why you're seeing a lot of newcomers here like Benedetto, Kenseth, the 3 rookies running and competing towards the top 10 here today. Lead is now down to about a second and a half. Blaney's really dropped like a rock, and he has fallen a lap down. Remember, he did restart at the rear of the field in that free pass spot. So now he's the first driver 1 lap down in 12, hoping that Chris Buescher doesn't run him down. He was back in 13th likely still. And also hoping that nobody else goes a lap down in front of him. But Johnson is coming, less than a second off the lead now for Martin Truex Jr. Teammate William Byron going to let Jimmy Johnson go into turn 1 easily. Look at this. Less than a half a second off the lead now. Here comes Johnson through 3 and 4 strong, closing to the back bumper of Truex, who leads that lap at the line again, but Jimmy is within striking distance. Just over 100 laps into the race. Johnson for the lead into turn 1, and he's got it. Gassing it up now to the outside of Stenhouse off of turn 2. Big side draft. Trying to pull him back so we can clear him into turn 3. Back to the bottom again. We will. Truex could not. He gets stuck behind Stenhouse. Lead change at the line. Jimmy Johnson back to the lead on lap 106 here at Phoenix. Took quite a ways into the run to get to the lead. Remember, we had a quick caution as well when we had gone for a spin. Back at turns 3 and 4, about 5-6 laps into the restart. Johnson is leading now, trying to pull away quickly from Martin Truex Jr. Chase Elliott got back up to 20th, but he is in danger of going a second lap down in this one. That is going to be tough to come back from just to get to the lead lap. It's definitely the danger zone, and he is in it now as he will be cleared off of turn 2. He definitely fought hard there. Not much he can do. He just doesn't have the race car today. And 2 of his teammates, Johnson and Bowman, have. So it does seem like we're going to have to pit because of the right front tire wear before we would have to pit for fuel in this race today. So again, that will be interesting to see going forward, especially we have a longer green flag run to the end of the race, kind of like we saw a couple times at Bristol in the last race. A little bit different circumstance. We don't have quite as fast of a long run car here today as what we did at Bristol. Cole Custer now goes a lap down in 11th. He's gotten the free pass before. Can he get it again before we put the 10th place driver a lap down, whoever that might be right now? Not entirely sure who it is. Oh, somebody's blowing an engine right in front of us. It's Alex Bowman, Hendrick teammate, no caution. He made a little bit of contact with John Hunter Nemechek coming out of turn 4 because of it. Now leaving 9 drivers on the lead lap. Bowman will coast it to pit road against the Bowman very slow, couldn't get to the bottom of the track, but will in time to get to pit road. Now 6 seconds off the lead. Is Martin Truex Jr. back in second place. He's about 2 seconds ahead of Harvick in third. Benedetto less than a second behind Harvick for fourth. And Ken's at about another 2.5 seconds behind Benedetto in fifth. Johnson leads, and that is your top 5 currently. And again, just 9 drivers on the lead lap here today at Phoenix. Not quite our largest lead of the race. You can tell the rest of the field has gotten faster as we get in the latter portion of this green flag run. Will we have to make a green flag pit stop for the first time today? And with no practice or qualifying, that is going to be tough to get to pit road. We'll just have to wait and see just how this is going to come to be. There's Tyler Reddick in ninth now, in danger of going a lap down for the first time here today. Gonna try to block us there for a second, couldn't do it though. Johnson clear before we get into turn 1. Not very good here for the rest of the field. Johnson leading laps in another race this season. We've now led laps in every race so far this year. Right front getting pretty worn out, down to 20% tire wear. Remember, we got it down to about, what, 16%? During the longest green flag run of the race so far. This has topped that green flag run. We have ran almost 50 laps under green so far, but already 4 cautions today in this race. All within the first 100 laps. Hamlin's climbed back into the top 5 again. Harvick not really gaining much ground on Truex. Truex Jr. trying to look like a front runner in this one now. Newman's going to go another lap down. That's his second lap down. He will go, and Kyle Busch could be in danger of being in that same predicament very shortly, as well as Brad Keselowski right in front of him. But knowing that we're going to have to pit possibly about 20 laps earlier than the rest of the field, how is that going to cost us 48 car? We're obviously going to lose the lead, and we're likely going to lose a lap because this is a very short track. Only takes about 26.5 seconds or so on pressured tires, less than that, to get around this racetrack. So we'll have to see. We go to the outside to get around Kyle Busch there. Can we get the perfect timing of a caution like we did last time? We were about 5 laps out from our green flag stop. We got the yellow last time. Will it be the same here? Blaney goes a second lap down. And so does Keselowski. And they're hoping for a caution, but not right now. Not until after this 48 car pits. But again, will the rest of the field follow? Will they go off strategy and try to take it as long as they can? We'll just have to wait and see. It's going to be very interesting. We got about a half a track lead on Martin Truex Jr. About 14 seconds ahead. Still 190 laps to go, but again, not a long race from the start. Remember, we started this thing about 9:15, so we're only about an hour into this race. And we are roughly about 30 laps away from halfway. Stenhouse blocking it up right now on the leader, Johnson. But it's not going to be enough. He'll go 3 laps down. after a great run last week at Bristol. Last race, rather. There's Chris Buescher. He has gotten up to 11th place, but now he's going to go 2 laps down at the start-finish line. He was stuck behind Brendan Gaughan off of turn 4, really took a lot of his momentum away. And here's Christopher Bell and Hamlin battling it out right now, I believe, for 6th place. 5th place, rather, because Matt Kenseth's right in front of him. Great move by Johnson to go up the middle between McDowell and Gase there. But Jimmy Johnson's going to have to pit very soon from the lead. Will likely give up the lead. All these guys going a lap down could get their lap back soon. 3 wide into turn 1. Quickly trying to get around the, well, really all the cars around us here. You see Kurt Busch going to go a lap down. So did Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell. Now only 5 cars on the lead lap. And Matt Kenseth in 5th is right in front of us. Got a little bit of a gap before the 4th place car. Can't quite see him in our vicinity yet. Matt DiBenedetto about another 5 seconds ahead of where Matt Kenseth's at. Johnson will get around Kenseth on the outside. And boy, if a caution came out now, that would really take a lot of guys out of this. That is what this 48 car Jimmy Johnson is hoping for. There's a caution in the next lap or 2 right before he has to hit pit road. And we almost had a caution for Bowman blowing up. Blowing an engine, but he was able to get to pit road before the caution had come out. Johnson staying out an extra lap here, but Jimmy is going to have to pit next time by. Not going to be able to make it another lap further. Lap 129, first green flag pit stop of the day coming up for the 48 team. Really any driver in this race. Not sure what the pit road speed limit is. So we're going to back it down. 45 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit here at Phoenix. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel, 1 second of damage repair, and no adjustments for the 48 car of Johnson. .3 second stop this time. Tried to get my phone to a charger again before the battery died, and it had about 3% left when the battery died for whatever reason. So I'm gonna be without the chat here for about 5 to 10 minutes. So hopefully by next caution, or even before that, I can try to get the phone back on, get the chat pulled back up again. Thanks for everybody watching currently or just tuning in. Very interesting race. So we are barely on the lead lap coming out of the pits. Martin Truex Jr., the race leader, not far behind us. So if the caution comes out, more drivers will be back in the lead lap. But luckily for Jimmy Johnson, we will not get caught a lap down. Now everybody's hoping for a caution. Johnson's going to quickly get back by Tyler Reddick, and Reddick's going to have to be careful because Truex is definitely coming. Reddick's got a fast short run car. Remember, he got up to about 4th place on that last restart before fading back to where he's at now in 9th. And 3 rookies back in the top 10 again, 7th, 9th, and 10th on the racetrack. So a great run for them. Johnson, fastest car on the track. Had to pit earlier there because of our tires wearing out a lot more than everybody else. So if they try to stretch it to the end of their fuel run, they could make it about another 20 laps after when we had pit. You're probably looking at right about 160 to go. Chris Buescher up to 10th place. So he has got by Custer. And remember, Buescher restarted one lap down. Custer did not. He was restarting at the front of the field on the lead lap. And 11th on that last restart. And Buescher has flat out ran him down. That 17 car looks really fast. You just get back on the lead lap. Currently the first car one lap down as long as Reddick doesn't go a lap down. Reddick's quite a ways ahead of him by about 15 seconds. So I don't think Buescher's going to run him down under green. Almost overdrove turn 3 there. Definitely got loose, able to catch it, didn't go for a spin like earlier. We got a car on pit road. I believe that's Matt Kenseth in the 42. So some of the leaders are pitting. And it's not quite the end of the fuel run. So Kenseth's on pit road. We'll have to see if everybody cycles through. With us short pitting, how far ahead will that put us ahead of second place? We'll obviously have fresher tires after that by about 15 laps or so to try and run us back down again. But it's what we needed. Everything to cycle through before a possible caution. We've seen cautions come out a lot in the middle of green flag pit stops, especially this season, so let's see how that's going to work also. We're about 18 seconds off the lead still. I don't think the race leader Truex has pit yet. Hamlin's on pit road, so is Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick. No, Harvick's still out on the track. Truex is on pit road now. And I believe Harvick and Bell are the last two ahead of us that still have to pit. Bell's on pit road. Harvick stayed out just a little bit longer than everybody else, managing his tires just a little bit better, despite still having a really fast short run car. But of course he didn't take off like he usually has. Look at Custer, by pitting that much shorter, he was in 5th. Granted, he might not have pit yet. No, Custer's pitting this time, so he tried to stay out a little bit longer, hoping for a yellow, and it didn't quite happen. Harvick is on pit road now as we speak. Not sure exactly where Martin Truex Jr. is at. He's just coming out of the pits. He'll go a lap down once everything cycles through. Johnson back to the lead. That time by. Lead change at the line. Jimmy Johnson is in front again at Phoenix. And Martin Truex Jr. will likely be in the free pass position ahead of Kevin Harvick, unless Harvick had a faster pit stop. Here comes Harvick off of pit road. He'll go a lap down. Truex is easily going to get around him into turn 1. So that is the battle for the free pass spot in second. But also, again, we don't have a short run car, and we have about 15 lap older tires than everybody coming out of the pits right now. So that combination right there is allowing Truex to run us down. He's just got one lap car of Ryan Newman in between us, and Newman looks to be faster on those fresher tires also. So he might even be able to be patient. Comes Custer off of pit road. He's still one lap down. He'll probably stay that way. Truex gets to the inside of Newman off of turn 2, and here comes Truex to try and get his lap back on the 48 of Johnson. Truex to the outside through turns 3 and 4. Trying to use Timmy Hill as a pick. Johnson just going to get under him. Truex still caught a lap down. Newman able to sneak underneath the 19 as well. Good to go around the outside of Almirola and Timmy Hill in turns 1 and 2. And now back to the inside again on Newman. Johnson gets tight. Here comes the 19. Truex, a little contact. And Truex is back on the lead lap with the bump and run off of turn 4. In good position if a caution comes out. putting Matt DiBenedetto in third place. The first driver 1 lap down in front of Harvick, and not by much. They're battling nose to tail for third place, as well as trying to close in on the leaders. Newman putting up a hard fight, as Ryan Newman does. Trying to get one of his 2 laps back. I believe 2. He might even be 3 laps down, not entirely sure. Harvick is there. He's desperately trying to get around the 21. He just can't do it. We're 10 laps away from the halfway mark here tonight at Phoenix. Just over a quarter of the way through the second tire stint on this green flag run. Seem to have one of these every single race where we have a really long green flag run. And the only race I can think of we didn't have a super long green flag run was that second race of the year. If I'm not mistaken. No, we did. No, yeah, Dover. We definitely had a long green flag run at Dover. Pocono, we only had 2 cautions. 3 cautions, rather. Sonoma, we had 2. We try to get around Stenhouse on the top. Might open the door up here for Newman. Still side by side, though, with Stenhouse. Tyler Reddick 2 laps down. He's trying to hustle, but he's got DiBenedetto stalking him. And Matty D going to try to get around him quickly, because Harvick is closing the gap back on the 21 again. But Benedetto slowly starting to pull Harvick. Truex is definitely getting away from us. He's 24 seconds ahead. Or behind, rather. Which means he's a couple seconds ahead of Harvick. And that's in the midst of lap traffic. Again, those fresh tires paying off for now for Truex. And if we do get to that point, we are going to have to pit again before the rest of the field on the second stop. So we bring a lot of guys back into this race once more. Again, I will get the chat back up either under the next green flag stop or a caution, whenever that comes. Battery died on my phone again. I had a long trip and didn't really have the battery charged that well. I tried to get it on the charger and I couldn't get it on in time before the battery had died. But start communicating back and forth with you guys hopefully soon. Trying to get around Cole Custer. He's putting up a fight in 13, trying not to go 2 laps down. Oh, almost cleared him, and now clear off of turn 2. He tried to get that side draft to work for a second there, but Johnson was able to get the power down much quicker than the 41 of Custer. Gonna alternate through the cameras one final time in today's race with about 158 to go. Johnson gets loose into the wall. That was a heavy hit. I guess it didn't look as bad as what it actually was. Harvick's up to 3rd place now, and Harvick is going to try and get his lap back. All of a sudden, this 48 car got loose into turn 1 and very tight through 3 and 4. Harvick's back on the lead lap. Johnson with the crossover, 3 wide into 1. Still 3 wide. 49 of Finchem's on the top. The 21 of DiBenedetto closing in. And Johnson with a great crossover on Harvick is able to clear. At least for now. DiBenedetto trying to get there. Cross flags in the air. We are halfway home now here at Phoenix tonight. Oh, Harvick bump and run on Chastain to get around him quickly, and back to the back bumper again now of Jimmy Johnson. Harvick closing in. Oh, DiBenedetto looks high, just couldn't quite get the run there. Is he going to get the run, though, off of turn 2? Johnson beats Harvick back to the gas, pulls him again, and arc the corners off a little bit better again there. Oh, little contact. Little contact trying to quickly clear Michael McDowell, and here comes Harvick again. To the bottom of McDowell. Driving it in deep now through 1 and 2, the old 3 and 4. McDowell gets loose. That allows DiBenedetto now to get under him and clear him off of turn 2 as well. And now Austin Dillon, Eric Jones, side-by-side lap cars right in front. Johnson overdrives the corner slightly. Here comes Harvick. Looking back towards the bottom again. Eric Jones pinching us off. Oh, that got tight. Harvick is there. Will he try to use the bumper on the race leader to get his lap back? Not that time. Harvick gets a run on the bottom. Johnson got a little tight. He's there, but he can't make the move. 3 wide through 3 and 4. Johnson all the way to the bottom now, and Austin Dillon. Joey Gase, I believe, was there. 3 wide all the way to the dog leg now to clear the 2-lap cars. And that's going to help us pull away slightly off of turn 2 as Harvick could get around Joey Gase, but he couldn't quite get around Austin Dillon at the same time like we did. Benedetto trying everything he can to get around Harvick too, because although, again, they would like to get back on the lead lap, if they can't, they are battling for the free pass position. This is allowing Truex to get away from us, at least for now. Except the tires are starting to even out slightly here, lap after lap. For about 15 laps, they'll really start to even out. It'll still be a little bit faster here and there, but it'll be a lot easier to control and stay in front of them. Control the blocks as we had to do there. Harvick has definitely not gone away yet. And slightly different pit strategy. Similar, but not quite the same. Trying to take each run as long as we can, just like the rest of the field. It's just we burn off that right front tire a little too much, and we have to pit about 15 laps sooner. Which might actually end up waiting to closer to 30 laps sooner this time. I don't know. I guess it depends how well we can save the tires over this run again. I wonder if we could stay out, the more it's going to benefit us, but we have to make an extra pit stop at the end of the race if we do stay green to the end. It'd be pretty wild, but that would be a long green flag run to the end, well over 200 laps, if that is the case. 35% left on that right front. We're starting to close in on Martin Truex Jr. again and pulling away. And that battle from third going on between Harvick and DiBenedetto, I'm sure that is definitely allowing us to pull away. And it was allowing them to not be able to get by us as well, knowing it was a 3-car battle versus 1v1 with Harvick. DiBenedetto was always there, so Harvick couldn't quite get too aggressive like he wanted to without losing the spot to DiBenedetto. They still battled for the free pass spot, but it might be given to Truex here before long. Truex struggling to get around Quinn Houff. Finally going to get around him there. Took him a little bit to get around Keselowski. Now he's closing in on Kyle Busch as well. Less than a second behind Truex. Truex either, again, going to need to hope for a quick yellow or have us end up pitting first, which we would have to do, and hope for a quick caution after that. Before the rest of the field will have to take their second green flag stop of this run. Just in case, Truex has to battle. But it's not going to be much of a fight. The tires have more than evened out. And the 48 of Johnson is running faster than anybody else on the track again. To the inside of Truex. Try to use Daniel Suarez as a pick through 3 and 4. Easily done. Truex goes to the top. Trying to go back to the bottom. Couldn't do it. Now he does. But Johnson well cleared off of 4. And Johnson has a 1-lap lead on the field for the second time now here today. Truex not going to go away without a fight, but he just can't hold on with us at this point in the run. $140 to go. Closing in on about a 100-lap green flag run here very shortly. Remember at Bristol we had 2 green flag runs of over 120 laps each. One was just over 120, and we had our longest green flag run of the race go about 166 laps. So, but another, what I would like to call short track here at Phoenix. Definitely playing dividends, that is for sure. Chris Buescher in danger of going 2 laps down. Despite being in that 10th position right now, Johnson to his outside with 136 to go in the race. And hopefully if it does stay green to the end, we can make it on 2 stops. If everybody else can make it on 1 stop, even. And if I take it an extra 15 laps longer, we pit 15 laps earlier again. That could be troublesome for this 40-18. We pit 30 laps before then. You can go about 81 laps on a full tank of fuel, though. I just don't think, unless they can go to their end of the fuel run this time, because remember, they pitted up 5 laps or so shorter. So, I mean, at the absolute most, they can go about 35 laps longer than us on fuel if their tires hold up that far. We know we're going to have to make 2 stops the rest of the race if we stay green. Will the rest of the field be able to make it on 1? I could definitely give them a chance to win this thing. 1 lap lead is Really not a lot with the way the strategy could be playing out here, is we're going to have to take our green flag stop very soon. I don't think they're within range to making our one stop, though. I still think they're 2 stops away, but again, a caution changes everything here. Whether it is now, especially if it's after we hit pit road and before that 30 to 35 lap stretch before everybody else hits pit road. Hamlin goes 2 laps down in 8th now. So again, next caution or under a green flag pit stop, whatever comes first. We're only laps away from, a few laps away from our second green flag stop of the race and on this current green flag run. At the line this time, 101 lap green flag run. We have made it over 100 laps now. Oh, contact with John Hunter Nemechek. We went 3 wide to the top there through the dog leg on the front stretch. But Jimmy Johnson trying to go 6 for 6 to start the season, unprecedented. First time in NASCAR history anybody's even started 4 for 4 to start the season. Then we went 5 for 5 at Bristol in the Food City 500. And now another short track here today at Phoenix. We go to our first 1.5 mile race in the next race that will be tomorrow, the earlier of the 2 doubleheaders for the Cup Series. And that will be at Kentucky, a 400-mile event there. So that should be some fun there. Of course, we've had thrilling finishes in the Cup Series races in the last 2 seasons there. We'll see what we've got for NASCAR Heat 5 tomorrow. And that should lead us, I believe, to Talladega tomorrow evening. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content, such as these full race NASCAR Heat live streams on this custom schedule season. Right now we're on the Chase for 8 with Jimmy Johnson in the Cup Series, as well as Xfinity and Truck Series action on the channel also. And nonetheless, a realistic commentary as you're seeing here tonight. We just go a few more laps here. It looks like maybe 2 to 3 laps before Johnson has to hit pit road. And the rest of the field will then hope for a caution after we exit pit road. Sooner the better for them. Once we get to that point, out of the inside of Kurt Busch. Johnson staying out of the pits this time. We're likely going to pit next time by. We'll see how the tires fall off in turns 1 and 2 to determine if we're going to pit this time or the following time. The longer we can stay out, the better. And we should be able to make it another lap here. Oh, we got loose and Johnson goes around. What a save by Jimmy Johnson. Caution is out. Oh, caution is out. Johnson spins. Great save through the front stretch there. How did that happen? Tried to cut underneath Newman. No damage. We are well outside the pit window. Free pass goes to Truex. That was a big time save. A needed caution for sure, but we are lucky we didn't hit anything. That would have been a catastrophe. And Johnson will restart the lead. All these guys are going to try to get back to the lead lap though, and then hope for a quick caution beyond that point. Green flag back in the air here at Phoenix. Johnson all the way to the bottom of the track, trying to quickly get away and protect that bottom going into turn 1 on the restart. A hungry pack of cars with DiBenedetto restarting on the outside of the front row there, quickly getting down in front of Harvick. Off the exit of 2, Kurt Busch going to drop back a couple spots to Benedetto, trying to get back on the lead lap. Some very strong race cars back behind us. Johnson down to the apron, through the tri-oval, or dog leg. You keep calling it a tri-oval. It's basically a tri-oval. And DiBenedetto was there. Beating Johnson back to the gas. Contact. DiBenedetto really trying to hold on now. And here comes Harvick for third place. And he's going to get his lap back. A big side draft, though, going into one. Harvick slams door to door with Johnson. Johnson goes wide. And had to keep out of the gas to keep it off the wall. And a lot of guys are going to get back on the lead lap. The door was open. Belbach got sandwiched 3 wide in the middle. Johnson still tight now through 3 and 4. More 3 wide action back through the middle of the field. And how fast can Truex get through the field to challenge for the lead? A much faster short run car on top of things. Big side draft there on Byron, trying to get back to the inside. Can't quite get the straightaway speed down the back. My goodness, and now here comes Newman. That was definitely the window of opportunity everybody needed. After just the 5th caution of the race today. Nathan Frago, welcome to the stream. I know you've been here, but again, just getting the chat opened up. Tim Lambert, Mr. Brick, also welcome. Just getting the chat back up for the first time in about 100 laps because we had a super long green flag run when my battery died, but what a crazy restart that was. Don't blow it, that's right, but boy, we have definitely brought a lot of people back into this if we can get a caution again here. And everybody can't make it on fuel. I should say nobody can make it on fuel from this point. We're all about 45 laps short. And for everybody, we've had to pit early because of tires, especially us, about 15 laps even before the rest of the field. Barely clearing Denny Hamlin, but now without some contact down the back straightaway. Thought there was a little bit of a hole between him and Newman. I guess it wasn't big enough as Hamlin tries to get back on the lead lap desperately. He definitely didn't have a good restart, that's for sure. Back to the inside of Newman again. Can't get around to Newman really holding us up. Hamlin keeps looking to the inside at the same time we're trying to get underneath Newman ourselves here. Really trying to side draft that 6 of Newman to pull him back off the exit of the corners because we get to his inside every time. We just can't quite stay there to hopefully complete the pass in that following corner. See if we can do it this time off the backstretch. Still there. Big side draft. No, Newman clears us again. Gonna make it harder to get around him through 3 and 4. Power move. And we are going to clear him. But here comes Hamlin to the bottom. Barely able to hold him off. Now Johnson trying to work around teammate William Byron. He's really climbing back into this. He's up to 16th. Didn't even look like he had that fast of a car early on. He was early on outside of the top 30, but maybe he can get a couple more cautions, climb back into it as he goes another lap down, though, off of turn 4. That definitely doesn't help his case. And Martin Truex Jr. is now just 2 seconds off the race lead. Harvick having that clean air, just over 2 seconds ahead of De Benedetto in third. And I don't believe they have caught lap traffic yet. This interval-wise, they're still catching us too. We had a long green flag run of about 110 laps, roughly, before that last caution. And we have another long green flag run again here, maybe cycling through pit stops. S.A.L. Chattel, sorry, welcome to the stream. What difficulty? It's on 105 for the AI difficulty. That's a difficulty for all 3 series on the channel every race. I did that back in NASCAR Heat 4, continuing it here in Heat 5. It's the hardest difficulty on the game. Hamlin's been putting in some work to try and get that lap back. And he's able to get to a rear bumper. He just can't quite get around us. And Truex, well, 2.5 seconds off the lead, but there's a lot less lap cars in between us now. You can definitely see him back there, waiting for that window of opportunity to maybe even open up again. Very difficult track to pass on. Right in line behind Bubba Wallace, who is having a great run in 15th, had an even better run at Bristol. He's competing for a top 10 all race long there. We're going to get to his inside, just over 100 laps to go and just over 200 laps into this race. Wallace trying to hold on. Johnson clears. And now he's got Denny Hamlin lurking. Back down to about a 2-second lead again on Truex. But now only 4 lap cars in between the 19 and the 48. At the front of the field, and remember, Truex had to restart at the rear after getting the free pass under that last caution. Make it look so easy. It's just practice, I guess, for playing NASCAR games for a long time. I've got the hand-eye coordination, whether I'm racing with the controller or the steering wheel. I just know how to take care of the car, you know, mostly. You've seen me spin a couple times, but I seem to make good saves a lot, too. It definitely helps. Winning races will come with time, trust me. Inside of Boyer, trying to side draft off the left rear corner panel. He's just able to block us off through the dog leg. Johnson's got the straightaway speed though. And we'll get him back in turns 1 and 2. We've really started to pull away from Hamlin. Truex still about 2 seconds off the lead. Now only 2 lap cars in between the leaders. And trying to go 6 for 6 with Johnson. Or will we have a new winner for the first time since Daytona in the 500 earlier this year, when Johnson, of course, won that first race of the year to kickstart the season, and now winning the first 5. But that new winner, get another driver locked into the postseason here early in the regular season. Still 20 races to go before the playoffs after this one, so plenty of time for those other 15 spots to be locked up. But it's likely looking that we are going to have some drivers making on points for sure, so every point matters without any stages on the season. Strictly on race finishing results. Christopher Bell, Matt Kenseth, both about to go a lap down. Kenseth in 5th. Last driver on the lead lap. 99 laps to go here at Phoenix. Kenseth's been in the top 5 all day. Doesn't quite look like a driver that could compete for the win, but maybe given a late race restart and fresh tires, you never know. He's going to go a lap down. Chris Buescher running in 9th place. He's got to get the shot out of the race so far, I think, for Roush Fenway Racing. Of course, his teammate Newman comes into the race 2nd in points, but Buescher right around that cut line, 5 races into the season, having a great performance today. A lot of the rookies also should get shout-outs. Christopher Bell's has been in the top 10, running in 7th. Right now, he's been in the top 10 all day. Reddick Custer's been right around top 10. Reddick is, I think, barely inside. Oh, contact with Buescher there, as we couldn't quite clear him off of 4. So we're starting to finally gap Truex on this run. About 4 seconds ahead now, as we have 4 drivers on the lead lap, with Matt DiBenedetto in 4th, being the last driver in the lead lap, just a few seconds ahead of us. As well as Harvick in 3rd for that matter, too. He's a couple seconds ahead of DiBenedetto now. Side draft on John Hunter Nemechek, down to the apron, trying to get away from him quickly. We just ran our fastest lap of the race there with a 26.294. That's the first lap time we've ran in the 26.2s all race long, and it came about halfway through the tire run. Over 200 laps into the race. That is awesome. Goes to show just how fast this 48 car is, even at this point in the run, and that's why we have pulled back away from Truex again, and now to the outside on DiBenedetto to put yet another car lap down. Benedetto fighting back. Johnson, though, gonna get the run off the top. Big straightaway speed down the back, and clear of DiBenedetto easily. Busch in 6th, about to go 2 laps down. Oh, contact! Oh, he's going to stay in front of us there, and here comes DiBenedetto trying to fight back. Kurt Busch blocking us off. Didn't appreciate the contact. Johnson just got a little tight in the last corner. And clear off of turn 2 now. So Kurt Busch will go 2 laps down in 6th. And that will be tough to come back from. Harvick desperately trying to hold on to the lead lap and hope for a caution, even though we're still outside the pit window of the cautions to come out now. I would guarantee everybody would pit. We have just over 30 laps on our tires. I feel like the video is lagged of the commentary. Yeah, there might be a little bit of a lag. I know I have, with our Wi-Fi on, we've got other people home. I think everybody's home right now, to be completely honest. Parents and my sister. Video's lagging. Yeah, sorry for that, guys. 90 laps to go. In the Fanshield 500 at Phoenix, 500 kilometers, of course, because it is a 312 lap, 312 mile racetrack on this 1 mile T-shaped oval. Harvick around the outside right now, and Ryan Preece, who actually comes into this race 13th in the point standings. Johnson all the way to the bottom. 3 wide for a short moment there, trying to clear Harvick into turn 1. And Harvick will go a lap down now, but he's going to try the crossover. Johnson beats him back to the gas, clear off of turn 2. Great move by Johnson. Now only 2 drivers back on the lead lap again, as we have about a 9-second lead on the 19 car of Truex. Will we get that next caution, though, before Truex can go a lap down I think there's a good chance. We might even have to pit before he even goes a lap down. So I think he's got a lot of time to get that yellow. And of course, Harvick and DiBenedetto will battle for third for the free pass spot. Harvick is at least 3 to 4 seconds ahead of DiBenedetto, though, in the free pass spot in case of a 6th caution in the race. Much like Bristol, a lot of short runs early in the first 100 laps. Bristol was probably about the first 250 laps, but a lot of short runs and a lot of long runs in the second half of the race. Seems to be the story again today, just like in the last race. And the most cautions in any race so far this season at Bristol, when we had 8 over the course of the entire race in the Food City 500. Down to the inside of Blaney. Just 86 laps to go, right on the edge of that pit window. 11.5 second lead now at Truex, still a little less than a half a track ahead of him, and we are well over halfway through the tire run. We should be able to make it on one pit stop. Should be able to make it on one pit stop if we did stay green to the end. You would have to hope. We have to make that extra stop. I just don't think we can win. Remember, we can go roughly 81 laps on a full tank of fuel, but we have had to pit about 20 laps short of that. So we have to try to make it to about 61 laps left to even have a chance to make it on tire. So we've got to go a little over 20 more laps. I don't know. It's going to be close. Everybody else can make it on one stop, but are we going to be able to make it on one stop is going to be the question. Ethan Greer, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by here. Late night stream again. Got home from Bristol today after the All-Star race on Wednesday night. Didn't get home till about a quarter after 8 or so. And couldn't get the stream started till about a quarter after 9, but we are here. Still off of work for the weekend, so we'll see. Welcome back here, Jacob Westbrook. So can anybody upset Jimmy Johnson here in the 6th race of the year after dominating the season so far? Maybe not race by race, but we have dominated the season. We had to win Pocono on pit strategy, so we definitely didn't have the fastest car that day, but we got the win. Daytona 500 barely hung on there. Dover was pretty competitive till the end. Bristol was competitive till the second half, and now we're here at Phoenix. Oh, back in the gas way too soon there, almost in the wall. Great job keeping it off the wall off of turn 4. 80 laps to go. Rest of the field within that pit window if they did want a short pit. What did I think about the Kentucky finish? I thought it was wild and exciting. That is for sure. Unbelievable. Cole Custer got the win there. Really flips the playoff bubble on its side now. Creating more drama there with Custer's win. I didn't think Custer can get in on points, but he had a great points day. He actually was the highest points getter in that race between stage points and race points. And closed the gap on that bubble quite a bit. I think he's up to 20th in points now. He gained like 3 or 4 spots. And I think he's still like 62 points back from 16th. So it'll be interesting to see. I know the win and you're in format, so he's in, but just kind of be interesting to see if he ended up actually getting to 16th regardless of the fact, because that team's got a lot of momentum after those last probably 3 weeks now. But yeah, incredible. Gutsy move to go full wide on the top at Kentucky and clearing them barely off of turn 2, just enough on Truex. And contact between Blaney and Harvick definitely helped him on the inside. They both made great saves there as well, especially Blaney hopping over the drain. on the apron down through the tri-oval. But yeah, wild finish. .16.5-second lead now for Jimmy Johnson. And I think the worst thing that could happen is a caution comes out after Johnson pits. That would force us to likely take the wave around if we did fall a lap down. And Stewart-Haas Racing definitely on fire. Talked about that earlier in the stream. Boyer's the last couple weeks been running a little bit better. Of course, Almirola's on a hot streak of his own with those top fives in the last 4 or 5 weeks, and he's had a lot of them. Harvick, of course, the championship front runner. It's between him and Hamlin, but Harvick has definitely got the edge on him. And obviously Custer getting the win at Kentucky, and he was starting to get it going there a little bit too a couple weeks prior to that. Yeah, SHR's definitely got it going for themselves. All around, they're the best. I shouldn't say best team. I think Penske all around is the best team throughout the course of the year, but I think the hottest team is Stewart-Haas right now. They just seem to be a little bit more flashy with their finishes and everything too. Definitely fun to watch. Penske, the thing with Penske, outside of those wins, outside of the races they have won this season, they're high in points because of the stage points. Especially Blaney, for instance. Like, Blaney has had a lot of stage points this year. I wouldn't be surprised if Blaney scored more stage points than any other driver this season. He just can't seem to get the finishes all the time. I think the same goes for Joey Logano, outside of his 2 wins, and Keselowski for the most part, outside of his 2 wins. So, I mean, all around, because of the way the points are shaping up, I would say Penske's the best team overall, but Stewart-Haas is a close second, and they definitely are the hottest team right now. Favorite out of the 4 is Boyer, yep. See that for sure. A lot of people love Boyer. Of course, he got the fan vote at the All-Star race the other night, so definitely gets a lot of support from the fans, that's for sure. Keselowski, speaking of which, has moved into the top 10 now. Up to the 10th spot, currently a couple laps down. We've got about a 22-second lead on Martin Truex Jr., so really pulling away. He did restart at the rear of the field, and he climbed within about a second and a half before we started pulling away again. Over the course of this run, just 70 laps to go in the race. We are still not within our range, likely, at least, to make it to the end on one more stop. We can make it on fuel, but I don't know about tires. It is going to be close. And will we get another caution before the end of the race? We have had 5 of them all race long. We're almost 250 laps into it here at Phoenix today. And we're going to have to hit pit road about 15 laps before everybody else, just like we did under the first and only green flag stops of the race so far. So we'll see how that's going to play out. It's definitely going to get interesting. Yeah, we can pit right now, SA, and the only reason is because we need to stay out as long as we can so we can make it on one more stop, because if we pit it now, I don't think the right side tires are gonna, or the right front tire, for instance, is gonna hold up long enough if we were to pit right now, and a caution will fly, so that will help us a little bit as far as trying to make it on one stop, but that is gonna reel Truex right back into it, and especially with Truex having a much faster short run car. This will be interesting. Harvick gets the free pass in 3rd, so caution is out for the 6th time today. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. We will have 81 laps, so again, we're good on fuel to the end, but will our tires last? And who will win? Because Truex has a much faster short run car. This restart will get crazy, mark my words. 3 drivers on the lead lap. Here we go. Green flag is back in the air at Phoenix. Here we go. Down to the apron on the restart. Johnson trying to get away. 64 laps to go for the 48 team to try and stay undefeated. 6-0 to start the season. Great race start through turns 1 and 2. Truex quickly, though, got to the bottom in front of affiliated teammate for Bob Levine, Christopher Bell. Here comes Truex, drives it in deep into turns 3 and 4. Couldn't get there. Truex looking to the top. Blocked off by Jimmy. Johnson barely able to hold on to the lead, leading the first lap off the restart. But that 19 car is coming on strong. He's got Bell to the outside. Christopher Bell trying to get one of his 2 laps back. We're focused on trying to hold off Truex and Harvick, of course. Coming from the rear of the field, he's got a fast car as well. Started on the pole, led a lot of laps. He's led the 2nd most laps in the race, right behind Truex. Or right behind Johnson, I should say. Truex, though, definitely led the 3rd most laps as well. But it's definitely been between these 3. Kenseth up to 4th on the restart now. Johnson doing a great job holding the clean air. But will the right front tire make it to the end of the race if we do stay green? Kurt Busch now in the mix, trying to get his lap back, one of which. Followed by his teammate Kenseth. Here comes Truex on the top. Johnson just beats him back to the gas and clear off of turn 2. Truex had a big run that time, couldn't complete it. And you know, if he gets to the lead, he will likely drive away. But the 1 car of Kurt Busch really doing a lot of side drafting there. Johnson all the way to the bottom now. Trying to help gap these guys a little bit through the front stretch. As Johnson sends it off into turn 1. Race settings, it's 105 AI difficulty. I can't really go through all the settings outside of what the races are. The race settings are race by race for each of these 3 custom schedule seasons that we're running with on NASCAR Heat 5. Of course, 4 races. Normal tire wear, fuel consumption and all that. No stages. I can't tell you guys that much, and there is a playoffs for this 36 race schedule for the custom schedule season. But here comes Truex. He just can't make the moves though because Kurt Busch is underneath him. Truex needs to be all alone behind the 48 car. Truex is doing a lot of side drafting. Johnson's done a great job as well, controlling the lines. Here comes Truex towards the top again. Johnson got loose off of turn number 4. Here comes Truex side by side for the lead into turn 1. Big side draft with a 19. There's contact over 3 wide. 3 wide for the lead. Kurt Busch on the bottom, letting Kurt Busch go, trying to cross over the 19 of Truex through 3 and 4. Power down. Can't get to him. Down to the apron now goes the 48 of Johnson. Driving it in deep. Into turn 1. Truex gets away, leading that last lap. An official lead change. But he does not have the clean air. He's got Kurt Busch right in front of him. Harvick now just 2.5 seconds back. Truex gets tight. Johnson almost got under him. Johnson again all the way to the bottom. Through the dog leg. Trying to run down the 19 car. Ooh, entered a little high. Johnson got tight into turn 1. Bell to the bottom. Couldn't quite get there though. Might have cost us a little time. Truex really needs to get around the 1 of Kurt Busch. He's going to look to his inside, but he gets blocked off that time. $54 laps to go at Phoenix. Truex still within a half. Not going to hold up. And if he gets by the one of Kurt Busch, definitely going to make things a little more interesting. Kenseth ahead of DiBenedetto in the free pass spot in fourth if we get another caution. Truex trying to drive away and hope to win here at Phoenix today. Definitely the best short run Johnson's had all day long. Only really could have fallen back to second on the restart, but he didn't really lose any track possession either. Outside of the two cars that are ahead of us, and they're both still within a second. Plus, of course, it helped that the 48 was able to hold on to the lead for a while. Truex is desperately trying to get around Kurt Busch, and we know a lot heavier lap traffic will still be to come over the course of this green flag run if we stay green long enough. Johnson had a lot of grip that time through 1 and 2, able to slightly pull away from Bell back behind us. So hard to pass the cars, especially in clean air like Kurt Busch is in now. Truex is obviously faster, but it is costing him a ton of time. Looks to the bottom off of 2. Can he stay to the bottom though into 3? Might need to start using the bumper before the 48 of Johnson starts to get going as the run gets later and later. And we get more laps on the tires and we get quicker and quicker as we have seen tonight. Truex still with about a 1 second lead. And will the right front tire last on the 48 of Johnson to the end of the race? Truex still trying desperately. Johnson closing the gap that last lap, and he's going to close it again this lap. Truex has to get by the one of Kurt Busch. He can't wait. 48 to go. It is crunch time at Phoenix here tonight. Again looks to the bottom off of 2. He just can't beat Kurt back to the gas. He might have to try to set him up high and get him low, but I don't think he can do that. Because Johnson is coming, running a little higher line through 3 and 4, trying to get the run off of 4 through the tri-oval. Here comes Jimmy Johnson. Right back at Truex again, into turn 1 for the lead. 48 car down to the inside, trying to hold the line. Side draft in the 19 of Truex, and they're side by side for the lead again off of 2. Down the back, Johnson going to go for it into 3 and 4. Truex waited too long. Johnson clear and back to the lead again at Phoenix. Truex goes high, can't get there as well. And now can the 48 of Johnson get by the one of Kurt Busch in the clean air? Or will Truex be able to get right back around the 48 car again? Johnson getting the power down. Harvick now about 6.5 seconds off the lead back there in third. Johnson trying to clear the one of Kurt, can't do it. Side by side, Kurt. A big side draft off of turn 4. Here comes side by side. Truex to the bottom. Johnson gets a little tight. The 19 is there. He's going to get by Kurt Busch, but so is Jimmy Johnson. And now can the 19 car run down the 48, who's now got the clean air. But not for long, because lap traffic is coming. And who will get through the lap traffic better? Johnson has been the lead driver getting through the lap traffic. 48 of Johnson. To the bottom. Quinn Houff is there. A little side draft. Here comes Truex again. Got to clear Houff. Truex to the bottom. Will he drive it in deep into 1? He will. And Truex is there, but he can't get the power down quick enough. Johnson pulls him off of turn 2. Great battle for the lead in the latter portion of the race. Ooh, Timmy Hill got tight right in front of Truex. Costed Truex a little more time than what it costed Johnson to get around him. Just 42 laps to go. here at Phoenix. Will the right front hold up? Eric Jones on pit road, up in smoke. We stay green. Again, sorry, yeah, my phone came off the charger and it died again, so if I can't read the chat, I'm really sorry for that. Again, I had a long trip at home from Bristol, so with the GPS on, it really drained my battery. I didn't have a lot for the chat here coming in, but hopefully we can get that up before the finish of the race again. We'll pause that real quick, get it back on the charger and go. With just 40 laps to go here at Phoenix. We've seen a few wild and crazy finishes, one of which already came on a West Coast track at Sonoma. We had a photo finish with Joey Logano where Johnson got the win on a green-white checker finish there. We'll get a late race caution here at Phoenix today. It's an even number race, and it seems to be those even number races where we get those late race cautions. So will the trends continue? We'll just have to wait and see. Truex is hoping the pressure was on enough, and the 48 of Johnson burnt out his tires, so Truex can go to victory lane for the first time in the early going of the season. A little over 2 hours into this race, and we are almost done. I told you guys this race is going to fly by tonight. It sure has. Just 36 laps left. And a 3-second lead on Martin Truex Jr. It's one of those situations where I'm really hoping we stay green because, again, we don't have a short-run car. We were lucky enough that we were able to hold off Truex for a while, and Kurt Busch held off Truex long enough for Johnson to get back to the lead again. I don't know if we can get that lucky. Oh, in the wall off of turn 2. Well, that's not going to help the right front tire wear at all. Less than halfway worn out. And we are not even halfway through this run as far as the last time we went green to where we're at now. We've only ran 30 laps of the 64. So we are not pacing well for that right front tire to make it to the end of the race. We need to stay out as long as we can just in case we get the caution, kind of like we got on the last run. And earlier in the race as well, but will a caution strike for a third time tonight, in which it will help us? Very rare that that could happen, but not impossible. Benedetto in the free pass spot now on Harvick, in fourth in case we do get that caution. It would be the 6th of the race. 280 laps complete at the line. Just 31 laps left. Try to turn the phone back on here so we can get the chat up before the finish of the race. Sorry for that again. I don't like pausing it, but kind of what we had to do here. Otherwise, I can't look at the chat at the finish here. We are getting down to the wire. Will the right front hold up? I don't think so. We are probably going to have to hope for a caution. We can take right sides only, but it is not going to get us off the pit road in time on this very short 1 mile racetrack. And the pit road is pretty long also. Only 45 miles an hour is the pit road speed as well. And that doesn't help anything on our behalf. So the rest of the field should be able to make it on tires to the end of the race. They've been able to go roughly 15 laps longer. We should have less than 15 to go when we pit. Easily, we should probably be about 5 to 8 laps short if I'd have to imagine on the right front. Just don't think we can back it off that much. Still make it to the end. It's 27 to go. We loosed it off of turn 2, kept it off of Austin Dillon though. Another thing too, the car just gets super loose. The air pressure builds up and the tire wear increases over the longevity of a run. And that's the thing though, we're at the point now, if a caution comes out, those guys behind us pit. Obviously we would end up pitting too, regardless. Again, we don't have a short run car. And we're going to have a short run to the end of this race, well less than 30 laps left. I just think either way, this is not looking good for the 48 team of Jimmy Johnson. Sorry again, guys, getting that chat pulled up for you guys so I can read your comments. I know they're coming in. Alright, there we go. Yep, sorry for that. Okay, shouldn't have to pause at the rest of the race anymore. 24 laps to go. So 24 to go. Old contact. John Hunter Nemechek, got to be careful. I almost kind of want this thing to play out green flag. I think that might be the best thing for us for now. Nine-and-a-half-second lead. And that's one thing too. If we just run as hard as we can and we pit right sides only, we don't have to put fuel in the car. So it's simply a right side only pit stop, and that is it. We are tracking about 7 laps to the good on fuel right now. So we can even go a couple overtimes and we'd be okay. We haven't had an overtime finish yet in the Cup Series. We have had 2 in the Truck Series already, though. But 2 green-white checkers, though. Johnson about overdrove the corner a little bit there. Harvick is closing in slightly on Truex, but Harvick could be in danger of going a lap down himself here before the end of the race, too. Finished long after the video because of the lag. Well, you guys can hit the live part of the stream on the lower left-hand corner of the screen. It'll fast forward back to, you know, real time. I mean, it's always gonna be delayed like 30 seconds regardless, but Get a little bit better of a reading here. 19 laps left.
Still there? All clear. Stay low, stay low. All right, you're clear.
Shaping up to be a good one though here at Phoenix. Not fuel strategy, but tire strategy at the end of this one has put Martin Truex Jr. in the driver's seat in second place. He will likely be the eventual leader once Johnson has to hit pit road, assuming the 48 car can't make it on that right front tire, unless we get a late race caution. But then we don't have the short run car, so if the field decides to pit, again, just 3 cars on the lead lap, it would be 4 after DiBenedetto hits pit road. A little contact with Bobby Carter. Not going to help anything there. We just have to wait and see. A lot of cars still out on the track. Half's been the slowest all day. He's in 38, so I believe only 2 drivers have DNF'd up to this point. And again, we have had 5 cautions total. And the last caution, or I should say the last restart, came with 64 to go. So the last caution was with 68 laps left. We had 4 laps under that yellow. It'll be a right side tire only pit stop for Jimmy Johnson. 15 to go. Oh, contact there with Harvick. Harvick is going to go a lap down, but that's not going to help save the right front with that contact. Staying out as long as we can. Just 14 to go. Well, this 48 car will not make it to the finish, and the rest of the field will.
Still there? You're wearing those tires down, Trevor. You got one. You're clear there.
13 to go.
You got one. You're clear there.
Definitely widening out that lead, and we are the fastest car on the track. We take right sides only. It will loosen the car slightly, but it'll get us even faster than what we are right now. Harvick is now the first driver lap down if we do get that caution. It is a race currently between Martin Truex Jr. and Jimmy Johnson. Harvick might be able to get up to second depending on how far back Johnson falls back after the pit stop. And will likely be coming soon. Big side draft there on Hamlin. We'll have 10 laps to go this time by. For the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Still can't believe Christopher Bell running in 7th. Been in the top 5 at times today. Definitely been in the top 10 all day, that is for sure. And even lap time wise, only about 0.6 of a second off from where we would end up being with 4 fresh Goodyears, but here we go. Now a 22.5 second lead on Martin Truex Jr. Over the course of this green flag run, just 9 laps left. Here's DiBenedetto in danger of going 2 laps down. He kind of got caught behind Austin Dillon. Had to check up out of the gas on the front stretch. Jimmy going to be able to stay out another lap here. Maybe 2. But you don't want to risk blowing the right front because that'll definitely cost us a shot at winning this race. Seven to go. Johnson will stay out of the pits again. This will make it 6 to go this time by. And Martin Truex Jr. is 24.5 seconds off the lead. Harvick will definitely get back on the lead lap, and so will maybe even, well, DiBenedetto won't because Truex is still in front of him there. So here we go, 6 to go for Johnson. And again, that right front won't make it to the end. Johnson going to stay out another lap. A little bit longer, still hoping for the caution. Even more riskier. 5 laps to go this time by for the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Can he hold off Truex? How fast of a 2-tire stop will the 48 team have? Johnson will come to pit road this time. So here we go, 45 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. Cannot speed. And we will not. 2 tires rather. No gas. 1 second of damage. No adjustments needed. This is going to be the race. We will have 4 laps to go when Johnson comes out of the pits. That right front might have been able to make it 1 more lap, but it wasn't worth the risk of blowing the right front, as the tires have just gotten eaten alive all day today. And I just don't see us being able to stay ahead of Truex. This is a very long pit road, but a quick 2-tire stop. 9.1 seconds. Where is Truex? Truex has the lead by about 10 seconds. It isn't even close. And Harvick has nabbed away 2nd place now. Johnson back to 3rd. And now hoping for a caution. 3 laps to go this time by. Can we get a caution to force overtime? Or will the streak come to an end? This time is not possible to make up in 3 laps. We can get to Harvick for 2nd, though. And then that throws a strategy in the air. What will everybody else do under the yellow? Two laps to go for Martin Truex Jr. Can he get to the white flag? If he does, the next flag will end the race, whether it is the yellow or the checker. Left sides will easily make it to the end for Johnson. Battle for 2nd is on into turn 1. Johnson for 2nd place on Harvick. Clear in the center of the corner. Oh, Austin Dillon about came down into the 48 of Johnson. 9-second lead though for Truex. And the white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go at Phoenix. It'll be a 64-lap green flag run to the end of the race. And the winning streak and the undefeated streak to start the season for Jimmy Johnson will come to an end. And it will come with a runner-up finish here at Phoenix. Less than 8 seconds ahead now. Off of turn 4 for the final time here tonight. Martin Truex Jr. will win at Phoenix. Saving his tires long enough, Johnson will come home 2nd, Harvick 3rd, DiBenedetto 4th, and Kenseth rounds out your top 5. Martin Truex Jr. will get the W and lock himself into the playoffs. 3 drivers finish on the lead lap in this one. We'll take a look at your running order. Martin Truex Jr. with the win. Jimmy Johnson 2nd. Harvick 3rd. DiBenedetto 4th. Kenseth rounds out the top 5. Then you have Bell in 6th. Kurt Busch 7th. Hamlin 8th. Chris Buescher in 9th. And Brad Keselowski rounds out your top 10. We'll take a look at how many drivers DNF. Not many. I believe only 2 drivers failed to finish this race. That was Eric Jones and Alex Bowman, both with engine failures. And both under green without a caution as well. that ensued during that process. And just 2 hours and 18 minutes was the total time on this race today. So again, flew by. Truex moves up to 8th in the points standings, maxing out again with the win here today on points, but he is locked into the playoffs with a win 6 races into the season. I was not going to make it on the right front. I could have short pitted with those 2 tires, but we lost so much time, and you really didn't know until we got to about 20 laps out whether or not we were going to make it. I was banking on there being a caution, but a lot of green flag, long green flag runs. Those last 3 green flag runs we had were, we had like a 50 lap run, a 110 lap run, and a 64 lap run to the end of the race. 5 cautions total here in this one as well. Johnson does gain a regular season points championship lead on Ryan Newman, who did not finish in the top 10 today, just finished outside of it, as you see right here. So just over a 60-point lead now for Johnson in the regular season point standings. Harvick moves up 2 spots. He's up to 3rd. Truex had the fastest lap, 25.986. 218 of the 312 laps led today for Johnson, but does not get the win, finishing in 2nd despite starting at the rear. No qualifying, no practice. We had a great setup. We just ate the right front tires off the car. Tire wear a big factor here at Phoenix again, with it being a much flatter racetrack. No banking, hard on the braking because it's short as well, so did not take care of the tires well, and that costed us a chance to go 6-0 to start the season. But Truex gets the win. We've got a doubleheader tomorrow. Kentucky and then Talladega will be the 2 races for the Cup Series tomorrow. So stay tuned. Both full race live streams as usual. Next full race live stream at Kentucky will be with the steering wheel tomorrow morning. Going to shoot for about 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So actually, you know what? We'll make that about 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that should be a fun one, to say the least. Again, so long, folks, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Also, I'm back. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Hit the like button down below if you enjoyed the video, commentary of the video in general. Got live realistic commentary with these NASCAR Heat live streams. And hit the bell notification button so you guys don't miss another upload. Almost forgot to throw that in. It's been a few days since we streamed again. So long, and I'll see you tomorrow.